What is up, guys? We are live action. Dr. Andre Pyancett here, and tonight we're talking about the ice raids, y'all. If you have not seen what's going on in Los Angeles, just up the freeway from me, it is popping off. Where we have protesters, we have crazy ice raids happening, we have the National Guard coming in, we now have Marine troops coming in. A whole lot of hell is breaking loose right now in Los Angeles, and I want to talk about it for you guys because as students and as pre-meds, I'm sure a lot of this is weighing on you. And I know as a black male, right, as a first generation black college student, as a pre-med, I know what it's like to feel like you're in an institution where it doesn't support you, both in college and outward, right? And then now you have all this social stuff happening around you, and it's hard to stay focused when you're worried about things, potentially your family members, people you know, and you're worried about the political chaos and the turmoil and the hate generalized across society right now. And so I want to get on here and have a word with you guys and talk to you about these raids and advise you guys, as always, how you can take what's happening in real life, learn from it, move from it, get better from it, and make sure you're still on track to become the doctor you want to be, to become the lawyer you want to be, whatever the successful goal you have in academics. Let me help you get there, guys. So let's get right to it. The first thing, if you guys don't understand what's going on right now, is that ICE raids are going bonanza. And in California, particularly Southern California, we have a huge immigrant population, both legal and illegal immigrants. And it's not one way or the other way, but it's just the facts. We have a large population of Latinos, a large population of colored people in general, black people included. And because of that, it is a hotbed for ICE raids. And I have some friends who work at hospitals in LA as doctors, and they're telling me that people are coming in and they're actually raiding hospitals, pulling patients out of hospital beds. And it's a very scary time and difficult time, both for attendings who are working with residents and trying to train them to protect their patients, and then also for residents and medical students and people who are in the hospital themselves trying to care for these patients. And so for you guys as students, I understand all this civil unrest and things happening, and there's a lot of negativity and violence and all this in the news. It's hard to focus as a student, but I want you to recognize you should not be going out there and protesting. I get it, right? We all feel, and like, listen, we got to make our voices heard. We got to share these tweets. We got to be out in these streets. Don't do it. And here's why, quite simply, and it's because they're doing a terrible job of delineating who is there to peacefully protest and who is there to cause a ruckus. And they're treating everyone as violent instigators. I heard something today where they're talking about calling people insurgents and insurrectionists, right? Like they're rebelling against our country, when really people are just out there trying to have their voices heard. And listen, we're hurt. We're feeling violated by these policies, but they're not discriminating between people. And this perfect point of this is that one of the university presidents actually was out there protesting today or this morning and got arrested, slammed to the ground by officers. And so if they will slam a university president to the ground, what will they do to you as a young student? Right? So because of that, it's going to put yourself in harm's way. It's going to pull you out of where you need to be going to get your future, right? I know your voice matters, but more than that, it's important that you stay healthy, that you stay safe, that you stay out of bondage, out of incarceration, and that you are free to do what is our greatest freedom, and is to learn, is to grow, is to get yourself somewhere, to build that career so you can be get into a position where you are the leader and you can make sure that this doesn't happen in the future. And if you go out there and get arrested, what's going to happen, guys? A mark on your record because they keep you out of medical school, all that kind of stuff. This is not the time to go out there and protest. And for me, I know what it's like I said, to be you guys, because I went to UC Irvine back when there was no black people at UC Irvine. It was me and like 5 other cats, and we were the black people. And even though we didn't have a football team, people would come to me and say, "Hey, are you the football team?" And it just felt so negative. And it was at a time where we had so much going on in this world around economic turmoil and different things and political shifts. It's always going to be going on. And I had to remember that I had to focus things. I had a bigger purpose. And I get to live that purpose now because I focused in, because I stayed in class, because I did the work, the hard work that nobody wants to do, right? I feel like for some people now, especially you young social media era, a lot of people go out and protest because they want to be on film. They want to be a part of it. They want to document it. They want to show on their social media they were there. And whether that's your role or you're there actually to truly make your voice heard, it's important to recognize that it's all seen the same. And that the biggest way you can make your voice heard and the biggest way you can make your impact is to get your education, is to get your career. And if you look at someone like me, I went through college, right? As a student who felt outcast, I went through things. But I kept my head down. I kept working hard and I kept showing people. I protested by putting my head in the book. I protested by becoming the best. I protested by getting to Stanford Medical School. And in the end, I'm able now to be given back. For over 15 years, I've been working with students, right? I get to give back and I say, listen, no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're experiencing, no matter what adversity you have, I don't care if you're undocumented. I don't care if you don't have the financial resources. I don't care if your family's not here. Whatever's going on, I've been able to go out and help these students elevate and lift past that and empower. And I have so many students now who are first generation students, who are students of sons and daughters of immigrants, first generation Americans, who are making it happen as physicians now in residency, as attendings. And it makes me feel incredible because I have empowered these people. And for you guys, let that be the example for you, that you recognize your biggest point of impact is not being out in the streets, is not being on your campus, waving a sign, doing whatever. Your biggest point of impact, if you want to change the future, if you want to make sure this doesn't happen to other people in the future, you need to get your education, you need to build a career, you need to get into leadership, and you need to be a power voice in the room that shifts and changes policy. That's true power. And so I encourage all you guys to take this to mind today. And as you do that, I want you guys also to recognize that we should be protesting. Everybody get that, right? Like this video right now if you're with me. We're live action. I just came from work. I haven't changed my out of my scrubs yet. But I want to get on here and talk about this. I've been getting so many messages from students who are worried about this, concerned about me in LA. I'm actually down south. I'm in San Diego, but similar premise. I appreciate you guys reaching out, and I'm reaching back out to you guys, let you know it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. We can get through this. And as you go through this as students, the very first thing I want to say that for many of you guys, right, as in all things, our stress, our worries, our anxiety pull us from what we should be focusing on. It doesn't allow us to be our great self. And so if you are concerned, if you have family members, if you have friends who are in certain areas, if you have friends and family who are vulnerable to ICE raids, reach out to them, check on them, find out if they're safe. Because once you hear that they're safe, they're okay, they're out of the muck, it'll make you relax and de-stress and be able to focus in. Limit your consumption of this. I know it feels like I'm telling you to check out and unplug, but I actually am. Because you watching and consuming on all your social media platforms and reading all these articles about what's happening and the injustice and the powerlessness of the people is not going to help you, right? It's just going to terrorize you. It's going to make you more worried, it's going to make you more anxious, make you more balled up, and you're not going to be able to be effective. And so stay off of your feed for a little bit. Focus on things that are positive, that are productive, right? My live streams. Other social media is going to build you up and help you be successful and get your mind right and get fortified and stay in a positive mindset. Because that positivity, we always talk about this on the channel, right? It's about positivity and productivity. Without that first P, that positivity, it's very, very difficult to be productive. And for many of you guys, you know this, right? All the negative self-doubt and things that you guys have, it comes from and it prevents you from being your most productive self. So don't do that. The third thing is I want you guys to double down on your goals. So it's a big time of year, right? Either your semester has just ended or your semester is about to end and you have a summer ahead of you. How are you going to use your summer effectively? Use what's happening right now as fuel to say, you know what? I'm not going to let up right now. I'm actually going to push further on the gas because it's more important than ever that I get to a place and get to a position where I can make an impact, where I can make a difference, where I can move the needle. And so double down on your work efforts and make sure you're taking full advantage of this summer, whether that's in research, whether it's getting clinical experience, whether that's taking more classes, whatever is on your agenda, go right now, improve yourself, dive into that and get it done. The other thing I'll say is get support. So during this time, some of us, I'm one of these people. I turtle shell. So when I am feeling emotional, when I'm feeling stressed out, when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I tend to go inside my turtle shell. I want to be alone and work through that. And for me, that works because I'm almost like having my own support system because I got these multiple dynamics in my mind. I got these conversations with myself to get myself out of a funk. But for some of you guys, you don't have that inside. And so when you guys turtle shell, when you withdraw from what's happening and you withdraw from your friends and so forth, you get into a place of despair and loneliness and hopelessness. And so I encourage all of you guys, get the support you need, whether it's from your friends, your family, or even during this time, talk to a professional, talk to a counselor. There's no shame in talking to a mental health professional to give you tools and perspectives that can help you deal with what's going on right now. And again, have that more positive outlook and not be stuck holding yourself down emotionally. And then lastly, guys, just remember your why. For me as a black male, one of my big things was that I wanted to be someone who was the black doctor, right? The black man in the white coat, who other students behind me could look to and say, oh, that's a black doctor. I can do that too. I wanted to be the black doctor in the white coat where black patients could come in and feel comfortable and say, listen, I'm accepted here. I'm not going to be discriminated against. And in times like this, it reminds you, and this is, I guess, how do I say this nicely? I'll say it harshly. America and the world is full of racism and discrimination and hatred. And they're not all the same, but they are intertwined. And that there's a lot of people who hate themselves, they hate their station in life, they hate where they are, and they're looking for someone to blame for their station. You guys know what I'm saying? Right? They're looking for someone to blame, and sometimes, and what's happening right now, is the person to blame is the dark people, whether it's Latinos, Mexicans, whether it's black people. We're blaming dark people for issues and hiccups, right? And so recognize that there is hate in this world, and this is a moment to highlight that. And so we have to remember why it's so important that we lead with love, we lead with care, we put ourselves in a position to be an empath and to show all the patients who are vulnerable, no. You can have a provider who looks like you, who you know cares about you in a special way. It's important to recognize that discrimination happens, and that it's so interesting. I read a book called The Color of Law. I think that's what it was called, The Color of Law. But it talked about how for so long, all these neighborhoods and all this real estate policy and all these things, a lot of times people used to say, oh no, you know what? Our system is not rigged against black people, that black people can rise up. But this book broke down all these laws and policies that in isolation wouldn't necessarily be racist or discriminatory. But when you link all these policies together, they created this nest of discrimination that prevented black people from acquiring real estate, from acquiring wealth, and actually elevating their station as they could after slavery. And it was a really interesting book to read. And I think that these current circumstances kind of highlight this, and that as a minority in America, we have to recognize at all times that the system is truly rigged against people of color. And there are policies that create discrimination, that create hardship, that create adversity, that create difficulty for minorities that aren't there for their non-minority counterparts. We have to recognize this and realize that we are here to overcome. And to overcome, we must what, guys? We must over-educate ourselves. We must over-plan. We must overact. We must be better than our counterparts. So as you as a student, remembering that you're going through this process, there's going to be discrimination, you have to be so good they can't discriminate against you. You have to be so good they don't see the color of your skin. They don't see that you're an immigrant or a child of an immigrant. They see that you're just excellent. And for me, that was my goal, and I achieved that goal. That's why I got into Stanford Medical School. But for you guys as students, I want you to remember that. Strive to be so great, to be so dominant, that they don't see your color. They're not able to discriminate against you for your color, that all they can see is your excellence, and you rise above it. That's how we break institutional, infrastructural racism and discrimination. We have to be so excellent that we can rise above it. And if you do that, guys, if you remember your why, if you stay focused in it, and you educate yourself, educate. If you want to be in medical school and you aren't an expert on the pre-med process and getting medical school, you're failing yourself. If you are a student and you haven't taken the time to be trained and become a professional, high-level student, you are failing yourself. Step up for yourself, guys. Recognize this world needs you. The future students need you. Your kids need you. I'm so blessed right now, guys, as a black physician, that my kids live a life I never could even have imagined. I wanted them to have a better life than what I had growing up, but I never could have imagined the opportunities they have to advance and to rise above discrimination. So remember, the way to beat discrimination is to be excellent and to rise above it. And so in these times, guys, remember your why, sink into it, and remember why you're here. What's up, Nomad? We are Live Action, y'all. If you guys didn't know, we are Live Action. So take a second, like the video, let me know that I'm here. I'm not talking to myself. I appreciate y'all showing up with me Live Action. If it's your first time with me, make sure you turn on live notifications, toggle that bell so we can get at you here on YouTube. Recognize that we got the podcast coming up after this, so you can get this Pre-Med Productivity podcast up in you. But I want everyone to recognize today that I know it's hard. And it's like when I was talking about the Ukrainian-Russian war a few years ago, and everybody thought I was heartless and callous. I was like, listen, don't worry about that. Focus on yourself as a student. I said it's going to drag on. And people thought, oh, he's being insensitive. I'm not being insensitive. These ICE raids are terrible, guys. They're injustices. Yes, we need immigration control. Yes, we need to control criminals. But we can't intertwine the same. We can't say that people of color, people who are Mexican, people who are Latino are all criminals. We can't say that every person we see that is darker than white is an illegal immigrant. We can't be slamming people to the floor. We can't be violating people's rights. That's not right. And in these times, again, it can hurt and it shuts you down, or it can hurt and distract you and pull you out there to protest. But I encourage you all to use your biggest protest tool, which is your brain, which is your possibility, which is your future. Rise up, become the leader, and look backwards and pull everyone else up behind you. Change the policies from in front, guys. That's the way you can be great. So thank you guys for joining me. I'm not going to belabor the point tonight, but I'll be live a lot more, guys. I've been itching kind of to come back a little bit. I've been with my students in my coaching every week. But, it's nice sometimes to get here on social media and talk to you guys who actually aren't in my programs yet. If you are not, right? If you're like, here, I'm like, hey, Dr. Price, I like what you're saying, and you want more of me, please get to my website. It's premedproductivity.com. And right now, in light of everything, guys, and all those things going on, I'm like, man, students need more. So right now I'm offering free trials to a bunch of my programs. So if you want to come in and see what greatness looks like, if you want to come in and excel and grow, get to my website right now, premiumproductivity.com, get over to my programs page and see the offerings I have for elevating your studying, for elevating your mindset, your thinking, for elevating your pre-med game, your MCAT game, your application game. I got courses for everything, y'all. I got coaching for everything. So get over there, check those out right, guys, right now. Free trial, limited time right now. Go check that out. And everyone have a wonderful day. As we always end these sessions, it's always no excuses, just dominate. And right now, there's a lot of political turmoil. There's a lot of economic uncertainty. There's a lot of factors, particularly right for our students of color, our minority students, our disadvantaged students. This is a tough time because the economic part of it, right, where the loan structures might be changing. There's a lot happening. And then you also have these policies which are not equitable and are leading to people's rights being violated. It's a lot for the minority student. And I want to remind you guys that you guys have power within you, have potential within you. All you got to do is realize it and get it going, y'all. So everyone, let me see what Alejandra said. I scored 505 with my full-length practice MCAT, 10 points higher than the last one. That's what I'm talking about, Alejandra. That's what I'm talking about. So good to hear from you. It's about succeeding, right? Alejandra, you're using your voice for these voiceless people by getting that 505, showing that you can break the trend, that you can rise up, that you can improve yourself, and that you can get to that excellence point. Because when you get into medical school and you don that white coat, it means something different. When you come out there and you protest with a white coat on, it hits differently. No. I'm Dr. Ibarra. You can't talk to me that way. All right, so everyone have a wonderful evening, and then I will catch you guys next time, y'all.